Hey everybody, it's Chrisi and welcome back. I'm super excited today to kind of dig up from the past and start something fun again. I am doing Realtor Edition today on our coffee chat. Got my friend over here, Mark Elias with us. Hey Mark.
Hey now, Chrisi Hagan, good to see you.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm well, and the Corona madness, this is a strange time of life, I gotta tell you. Whew.
It's crazy. So one thing I have found during this whole Corona crazy is you gotta laugh. So you are on the top of my mind, and I need to call Mark and let's have fun with this together, my friend.
Awesome. I think that's a great attitude and a good approach. I think a lot of people are probably feeling a little bit of isolation, maybe even some depression with being quarantined as long as we have.
Yeah, going crazy. So I have to laugh. I don't know if you can see on that side, but we got the messages coming in. You've got Josh. Hey, Mark, go Mark. So we
Josh
know
Hagan. Josh Hagan.
brings joy.
Love that guy.
Yes. Okay. So this is the Realtor Edition. We're both realtors. So let's chat a little bit if you're okay with that. We'll talk a little bit business and a little bit about reality and working from home and how it's gone. Sound good?
Awesome.
Awesome. So we'll start off with business. Real estate. It's still moving. Agreed?
Still moving. I'd say right now the most active segments are those folks that are probably having a baby and have no choice but to upgrade more size. Those folks who are first-time home buyers, their lease is ending and they don't want to renew. Those folks that are relocating either for work or for work. Those are the strongest segments that I found are active in the market right now.
I totally agree. So those who are in a position that they have to move, as well as those who kind of had started their search. It's not that they've put it completely off, but they've kind of put it to a point that now, hey, if it's the perfect house, then I'll go, but otherwise kind of taking a little easy. So you've got the kind of both worlds going on there. I did look up some stats though, FYI.
Oh, what do you got?
Just the last 24 hours, looks like there was 124 new listings, 113 homes went contingent in some way, and 103 closed. So all over the 100. So we still have people listing, buying, and closing.
Yep.
Kudos, so, right?
I think Columbus is kind of a unique environment and economy in that we got in front of the COVID virus. We took actions that not a lot of states had done, which kind of leveled off the curve, kind of stretched it out or flattened the curve, as people say. And then secondarily, we just have more demand for housing. We don't have enough inventory, so we're kind of a little microcosm in that it's still a pretty strong market, and I think it will continue to be a strong market as this COVID goes away, God willing, and the sun comes out. But I think what's strange, Christy, is that people, they're listing their home, but it's really kind of scary. They don't really want people in their home, so they want to get it sold quickly. It's an interesting kind of thing.
Right. So we're having to take a whole new look at safety. Before we knew who was scheduling showings and going into our homes, but now us in particular and those who we're doing showings with, we have a whole new set of safety precautions.
Yeah. I've heard of Lysol being left near the lock boxes, all the lights being left on so that the realtor or the buyer doesn't touch anything. Hand sanitizer in each of the different rooms. Really peculiar time. I did an open house just before the stay-at-home thing, and I think people are so accustomed socially to being close to one another that I constantly had to step back away from people. They just don't realize, because it's ingrained in you. You stand 3 feet away from one another, but our
natural circle has grown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So tell me something. How are you spending your time during this odd period?
So I would kind of narrow it down to a couple of things, and spending it with the environment, but mindset. So that's kind of where I'm living at daily. And mindset has been a new word I've kind of recreated each day, and maybe even several times throughout the day. But right now we're sitting in my office. Usually I'm more of an interviewing people. So I'm in my studio, which is that wall over there. But at any rate, so just kind of creating an environment that is conducive to still do business and stay focused, but open my door and go out and being part of my family and life and still moving. But I do have on my screen over here to the right, I'm very much a schedule oriented person. So very much looking at what comes next and trying to stay on task with it. So you don't get lost in the complete what day of the week it is or what time of the day. Trying to have a little normalcy.
Yeah, yeah. I think on my end, on the personal front, I have a 5-year-old and a 10-month-old, so I'm running after them all day long.
Crazy, yeah.
What it has done, Chrissy, is it's had me focus and really use my time effectively. And then the 2 naps during the day for my 10-month-old are the opportunities to prospect, to call those people in my life that I've worked with, friends, family. And I'm very intentional about being uppity, raising the spirit, bringing some positivity. The default right now is it's not a high energy, positive vibe. It's a low energy state of affairs these days. So when I call people, I'm really being thoughtful about bringing something to them of positivity. The other thing I'm doing is watching the market. I'm not going into homes unless I have buyers that want to purchase within 60 days. I'm just not going to risk my family and well-being for somebody that's kind of kicking the tires, which I think is reasonable. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, it's always been priority, I know, for all of us in the industry that somebody really needs to be pre-approved before going out. But before we might go out once, potentially twice. But reality is we need to take safety in, and we need to be real and considerate of not only those who are buying ourselves, but also the sellers. So yeah, just being more vigilant in doing with who you're doing showings and when and how.
Sure.
And taking advantage of virtual showings. That's been really a lot of fun. You and I both like technology.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'll be forthright, Chrissy. You inspired me to do more video, which I've only begun doing. And I'm texting you every day to say, how do you work this? What the heck does this mean? And, you know, you look better than me. How do I look pretty? And you're giving me all these tips. I don't enjoy social media. It often saps me of my joy because I keep up with the Joneses. That's just the honest truth. What I do enjoy is I love these video sessions. It's incredible how technology has helped, facilitated in communication these days. It's like you can kind of talk with anyone and like do this via video chat. I think Zoom right now is the big thing.
Oh, absolutely. So I do think that the bringing value to our communities is one thing that we can do when we're used to being out there and talking and seeing people every single day. Doing these videos has kind of been, for me, it's become a vehicle to continue to do that and help the community. So I have been, able to connect with a variety of different people in all kinds of industries, from work at home to people who are usually out and doing things and promoting it. So I loved yours. Yesterday, I saw you on insurance. You've had a police officer on yours. You've had some really cool people on your videos as well.
Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So is that your why, Chrisi Hagan? Is your why to contribute to the community? Is that why you do this?
I twofold. So absolutely, my why for who is on my show is absolutely to be able to promote someone else and see how I can help their business, see how I can learn from them. But you also got to have a little bit of your own internal at the same time, if we're going to be quite honest. And every day it's how I know what day of the week it is. Who am I interviewing today? Who am I learning more about? You're going to be dressed and ready to go, and you can't be in your sweats all day. You're going to be up, prepared. So it's keeping me on task, but it's helping me help somebody else in turn. We've got some fun people over here, by the way, on the side, Mark. So I've got some good hellos from Charles and Nicole, and of course Josh was there. So
big shout out to our buddy Charles Collins, an incredible leader, wonderful realtor who's taught us both a lot. Nicole, I see that you enjoy video virtual tours. You know, that's something we just begun doing more of. We bought a camera at our small team in New Albany. And you familiar with, what's that camera that does the 3D
Matterport.
Matterport. We bought something like that. And it's a really interesting use of technology in that people don't need to go into the home. I wonder how that changes purchasing behavior if like people are gonna avoid actually going to see it. Can they just go on a virtual tour? What do you think?
You actually can. So I do have a transaction right now that is exactly that. My people are out of state and they intended to come into town and we're not able to because of what's going on right now. And therefore I did a virtual tour. I got approval from the listing agent and I went in and videoed it, sent it to them, even taken it the step further that then you have the inspection phase. So that was completely done virtually, and that we had a FaceTime to walk them through everything. And of course you get your inspection via email anyway, but then I met with the flooring person at the home and we're showing, here's a sample of this wood floor, and then are just sending the sample through the mail. So it's quite interesting.
Wow, that's really fascinating that you had almost an exclusively remote transaction with a client that trusted you. That's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely cool and new. But you were talking about those cameras. So there is I did play with a app as well as a Zillow 3D, I think it was, and did something similar. So that's what I'm finding right now. And would you agree, no matter what industry somebody's in out there is learning, there is no better time. There has been no better time to learn. So everything that was on the to-do list, just going through it one by one, whether it's learning an app or a new website or whatever, it's just constantly learning.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. People, I think the default is chill out, kick your feet up, Cheetos, Netflix, and I definitely have that impulse. I give myself the opportunity to do it at night, but I am like you in that I've really been committed to learning. One of the ways I'm doing it personally is I'm staying abreast of the market. There's some subdivisions that are kind of newer, new builds. I'm really looking at them more closely. These interviews that I've been doing actually are really a good education as well. And what's really cool that you've inspired and kind of created yourself is that you're creating a forum that creates a cycle, a reinforcing cycle. It makes you a better person that's more prepared, that is in a good mindset. You're then learning from others, contributing to the community, and that only actually speeds up the very things that you're committed to, which is learning and being out there. And I love what you're doing. It's super, super cool. Keep doing your interviews.
Hey, thanks, friend. Hey, you mentioned something and I was going to ask you. So you said that at night, we do have to be real. We have to have downtime. We're not, even though we do wake up with our mindset on business and work and what's next today, it is important to have some downtime and to have grace with yourself and find joy. You said you do allow yourself time for Netflix at night. What are you watching? What'd you finish there?
Great question. So Chrisi Hagan, what am I watching? Wonderlast, I think it's called. It's on Netflix. It's basically Friends, but the Australian version. I went ahead as a stupid man and was getting a little bit frustrated with the storyline. So I went ahead and wikied what happened. I found out the entire 3 seasons. And then I told my wife that the protagonists, the two most popular characters, never end up getting together.
Oh, tell us!
Oh!
No!
I wasn't supposed to say that. Delete. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Moved on from that, and then
all right, so Wonderland.
Wonderland, rather. Wonderland. And then just started Love is Blind. And
it's a hot mess.
It is, I mean, I gotta tell you, I think it's a very authentic thing for people to connect without seeing one another, but I just think so much of communication is nonverbal. In fact, 70 to 75% is. So I suspect there's a lot of assumptions, a lot of guessing, a lot of hoping.
Do you want to know the ending?
Say again?
You want to know the ending?
No. You want to hear the funny thing is? I wikied that too.
Well, you didn't.
I did. I know who's getting together, who's not, who's leaving. And I told my wife, I'm not telling you. And I still will watch it because we're trying to have date night. When you have kids, it's easy to be a parent and forget to be a partner. So we're doing that. What do you watch? What are you watching?
So we have been watching, I know everybody practically, it seems like, has been watching this weekly, but I just caught on, and the beginning of this coronavirus quarantine period, we started watching on Hulu, This Is Us, and last night was a very, very sad night. We finished the series.
Oh.
So season 5 does not start until this fall. So we now have to wait. So now I'm looking for a new one. So we're going to go check out your suggestion.
Yeah, you know what's really funny? I was thinking about this. Like HGTV, these like real estate kind of programs that show investors or show flipping or a buyer looking at 3 different homes. It paints a picture about our industry and about the experience, which is not like the real world at all. And it's really kind of funny because people say to me like, "Oh, you must be making big bucks, and it must be so easy and fun to just get somebody in there and buy." It is a lot of hard work. This is a grind.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that, in particular, is a stark contrast between what you see on TV and reality is. You take buyers around more than just 3 houses typically. There's a little bit more showing than that. There's also a lot of anxiety that comes with the process. We as realtors are coaches, therapists, leaders, information providers, matchmakers. Yeah, isn't that the truth? So yeah, I just thought of that thinking about those shows. They kind of don't entirely paint the full picture. One in particular, have you seen Million Dollar Listing, or who's your favorite, who's your favorite character?
Is that the one? Oh, no. I'm thinking of the Sunset one. I can't remember who's on the Millionaire one. I'll have to go back and watch that one. That's on Netflix?
No, I think it's on cable television. It's so funny. You and I are so ill-informed on our real estate shows.
Now I'm watching I've watched the Sunset ones, but I don't know their names. Oh, Chrisi, something like that. I don't know. She's the one from the Midwest, but I like that. But no, I do like HGTV.
So I have a question, so we can put it out into the universe. First, I also want to acknowledge Nicole from World Class Title. She's been super, super busy, texting and writing us and giving us praise and getting interactive. We encourage everyone out there who's listening live or even after the fact to chime in. Let us know your questions. We can certainly take them into account for future shows. The question I had for you, Chrisi Hagan, is put it out into the universe. Who are you looking for on a future show? Maybe we can prospect. I'm a fireman. I need a New Albany fireman. I'm putting that out.
You know what? I'm with you. I actually asked a friend who lives in my neighborhood that's a nurse if she could be on, but unfortunately the hospital is not allowing them to do that. But and I know that a teacher that I've spoken to recently also was not able to talk about their school district. So I don't know. I would love to have more people on the front lines in some way, because what I'd like to do is to know more about how we can support them and help them. But yeah, there's a segment of the industry I haven't hit, which there's only about 957 gazillion more. Happy to talk to anyone, but really those people that are out there helping others and learn about real life and them and what it is. We know what it is in our 4 walls, but I'd like to know about where it is, where they are, and how we can help. I have had a couple of nonprofits on, but I think that would be another great area. I've always got a passion. I've always got my Marine mom or my Blue Star mom pin. I've got something on every day. So passion for me is always military. But right now, our first responders, Josh is studying to be a firefighter. So I'm with you on that. Would love that. Actually, I have a lead out there, so I need to follow up on that one for a firefighter soon. If I get two, I'll send one your way.
Good. Yeah, our job as interviewers, consultants, kind of online hosts is to prospect the same way we would in real estate. And my approach to that with the show that I've started as a result of your influence and inspiration is look for people who I have chemistry with. And by the way, that's the same thing I look for in clients. I'm very blessed in that I get to choose my clients. And I've been really fortunate that the people I work with, I, for the most part, have chemistry with. One thing I'm very intentional about is I try to find something to fall in love with about a person, the people I work with. And I always get to fall back on that, whether their sense of humor, their grace, their wisdom, their intensity, something that I can fall in love with is what makes the relationships so special. And I know when we work together, I would, obviously you and I shared a desk. I could see how many people you were falling in love with as well.
Yeah, you would be making a phone call like, well, you made one, I'm going to make one. You got a listing, I'm going to get a listing.
Mm-hmm.
It worked off of. So that's why somebody asked over here, are we going to bring back those shows? Well, here we are. Here's today. Start. So we are going to look at doing this. I think I've got us committed to at least during this quarantine. We might do once a week. We'll do this. And I won't do a complete spoiler alert unless we should. But I'm super excited that our screen is going to be split with 3 of us next week. And we will be inviting in an amazing expert with us also in our industry who we adore, right?
Cool. That's right. That's right. Big Chaz, and we'll leave it at that. AKA Chazzy.
Jazzy.
With that, before we leave, I'm going to just put out there the word of the day.
Yep.
I'd probably say my word of the day for today is gratitude. My default lately has been frustration, isolation, anxiety, because work is kind of funky. It's on and off. And every time I go back to gratitude, you can't be grateful and aggravated at the same time. So that's my word of the day. What do you got, Chrisi Hagan?
I'm going to say laughter. Number one, leading up to us getting on here, I was already smiling. Yesterday, I was listening to a Les Brown podcast, and I kept going to that particular 18-minute mark in his live because he laughed, and when he laughed, I felt myself laugh, and then I recognized, what did I feel like? So I'm going to say laughter. Got to keep it real. The world is what it is. We can't change it, but if we can laugh, we're going to have a whole lot better time while we're here.
That's cool. I love it. Chrisi, thank you for having me on. Sending you love, lots of love to your crew. What's up to Josh, who I know is listening.
Yep.
And look forward to seeing all of our community commenting in the box below.
Absolutely. Hello to E. Taylor and the whole fam.
Cool. I'll let them know. They're outside knocking on my office door right now. Like, are you done? Play Legos with me.
Are you done? And do you have Riley down there with you?
Riley just got walked. She went outside, so she's in hanging with the kids. Taylor, my 10-month-old, has been like jumping on her, and this old 14-year-old golden doodle is just so accepting and saying, it's okay. She's a kid. I'll let her jump on me. I'm just waiting for that dog to get up quickly and flip my child over.
Oh, I love her. Hey, we've got some offers for some future sponsors. So I think we got big plans ahead, my friend.
Okay, good stuff.
All right. That being said, thank you to everyone out there for watching today. And as you continue to watch and views in the future, you've got Mark that way and Chrisi. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We can't wait to help you in the industry. Looking forward to chatting with y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.